Representative Reggie Stoltzfus, and on deck is Rebecca Bourne.
Welcome, sir. You have 3 minutes once you start speaking.
Well, good afternoon, President McGuire and members of the Ohio State Board of Education. I am Representative Reggie Stoltzfus. I represent Ohio's 50th House District, and I sit today in support of this resolution being considered. Ohio's public schools have a vitally important calling to develop young people who understand themselves and the world around them so they can be the people they were designed to be, and in so doing contribute in the noblest and truest sense to their own flourishing and to the flourishing of their families and communities. Every student should be nurtured so that they may live ordered lives within the sometimes constrained laws of nature and the universe. We need schools that understand virtue is formed in human beings by conforming our desires to reality, not by conforming reality to our desires. Sadly, our school's high calling has been sidetracked by an unscientific, ahistorical, and empty narrative that teaches our children that they are free to jettison the biological realities of their bodies. In no other course of study are children taught that natural laws do not apply or are subject to individual feelings. The collective wisdom of this board ought to recognize that a young person's feelings can be misled or easily manipulated by a narrative pushed by those in secondary authority over a child, even if that narrative runs counter to obvious facts. As this resolution rightly states, sex and gender are not arbitrarily assigned at birth, but rather identifies an unchangeable fact. There are observable, quantifiable, and immutable differences between male and female. To allow students to be educated in a system that ignores these obvious differences is derelict at best and abusive at worst. Large percentages of Ohio's parents are rising up and asserting their right to say, we should not be compelled by the state to place our children in a school that teaches a sexual ideology that has no communal or scientific consensus. Our common school system must arise out of a common set of beliefs about the nature of things. The resolution being considered makes the rational and common sense decision that gender ideology is not common to a large percentage of Ohioans. It should not be part of a state-compelled education. Too many schools across the country have ignored this concept, and as a result, 74% of Americans now want educational freedom for their children so that the funding follows the student rather than going exclusively to a system. We all have seen how elections such as the latest gubernatorial race in Virginia have played out. They have turned decisively and exclusively on this issue. I urge this board to listen to your constituents, to recognize the manifest nature of the human body, and adopt the resolution supporting children, parents, and schools against the harmful and experimental gender ideology. Thank you all for your service. Thank you for your time today.
Thank you.